أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Apologies for the delay, I was just having some issues signing in. So we'll begin our class. If I can ask L218 if you could please recite the opening prayer. Okay, I don't think you have a microphone. So let me try L227. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Could you please recite the opening prayer?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbish rahli swadri wa yassri sorry. Wa yassr li amri. Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me. Amen.
Thank you very much, L227. So at the beginning of the class last week, I appointed a class assistant who will be managing the microphone. So when I ask for someone to recite, that person will be in charge of selecting a student and unmuting them so I can hear their recitation. So last week we had L217 who did a really good job. So this time I'd like to ask L232 if L232 can be Assalamualaikum. L232.
Assalamualaikum.
So I'm going to make you the co-host. So you'll now be able to control everyone else's microphones. So when I ask for someone for the recitation, if you can just unmute the person.
Okay.
If you can just note down as well who you've picked so that we can give different people the mic this lesson, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. So I'll just put you on mute for a moment. We are... is my voice clear now? Could you just put your hands up quickly if you can hear me okay? Okay, that's fine. Jazakumullah, thank you. Okay, so we are going to be finishing off the listening to the recording from last week. I think we started, but we didn't quite get time to finish it off. So if we go through that, and then we can move to our focal surah for today. So I think we got up to over here in verse number 6 of Surah Ibrahim. So let me play the recording, and the recording was from L240, if I remember correctly. So let's just play from this point here. So just over here with the dhal, we have been discussing thick and thin letters. So the dhal over here, it should be thinner. So at the moment it sounds like dhalika, which is more similar to the letter za, which is, let me see if I can find an example quickly. So that sounds more like that letter rather than a dhal. So when we say it, we want to have our mouth open, dhalika, rather than rounded, which would be dhalika, dhalika. So fi dhalika. So that would be a thin letter. Let's carry on. So over here we have kasratain underneath the ta, which is followed by lam mushaddad. And over here, this is what we call complete assimilation. So that means that we're not going to hear the kasratain when it's joined to the lam mushaddad. So rather than it being la'ayatin likulli, this is not going to be heard. So it will be la'ayatil likulli. So tilli, no kasratain being heard when merging this. So this will be la'ayatil likulli. carry on.
وإذ قال موسى لقومه اذكروا وإذ قال موسى لقومه اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ أنجاكم.
So over here we have Nun Sakin, which is followed by the letter Jim. And if you remember that when Nun Sakin is followed by the letter Jim here, there's going to be a light nasal sound. So if we go to our letters, if it's followed by, if Nun Sakin or Tanween is followed by any of these 6 letters, then it's going to be a clear nasal sound. Sorry, no nasal sound, so it's going to be short and clear. So this will be Yan'awna, Yanha, An'amta, Wanhar. Because it's not any of those letters, we are going to be reading it with a light nasal sound. So we call this Izhar and we call this Ikhfa. So over here, because the Nun Sakin is followed by a Jim, which is not any of these letters here, it's going to be light nasal sound. We are going to do ikhfa here. Anjakum. So a light nasal sound is to be applied on the Nun Sakin over here.
من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب ويذبحون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم.
Just one point that I thought would be good to raise. As we are learning the more advanced rules, again, we want to try to differentiate the individual letters and sound the Arabic letters as they should be articulated. So again, this ha over here, this ha over here, this is a lot sharper than the other ha. So we want to make this a little bit more prominent. So where you ذبحون, so ha really from the throat, وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ. So little points, but they make a difference in the overall recitation. So وَيُذَبِّحُونَ وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ. So again, over here, the dhal was pronounced a little bit too thick, so we want وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ rather than ذَلِكُمْ. وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ. Okay, the final points were ra over here and the dha over here, just a little bit thicker. مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ عَظِيمٌ. So again, ra and dha, our thick letters. So Jazakumullah L240 for your recording. We'll move now to our lesson for today. And as you know, if you've been attending regularly, we are looking at a different verse of the Holy Quran in each lesson. And we've done I think 3 beforehand, and this is the 4th verse that we're covering. So this is from chapter 33, which is Surah Al-Ahzab, and this is verse number 41. So I'll just bring up the Arabic for you to see, and again we will look at the translation just to get an idea of the meaning. So we have Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not the father of any of your men, but he is the messenger of Allah and the seal of the prophets, and Allah has full knowledge of all things. So again, this is a very important verse, particularly when it comes to the field of tabligh, and as we discussed, that there are 3 steps that we should be focusing on. Firstly, looking at the correct recitation of these important verses. After that, memorizing them, and the final step is to really understand the in-depth meaning of what these verses mean. So this is our verse in focus. Again, if you've been regularly attending, you'll know that we have got our basic rules, which are in the orange color, and we have our more advanced rules, which are in the green color. So the basic rules are the ones that we can't compromise on. These are the rules that we need to be fully applying correctly. And then after that, we should be turning our attention to the more advanced rules. So let me just check. So L237, you have a question? Let me just see. L237, I can't see the icon for a microphone next to your name, so I'm not able to unmute you. Yeah, L237 and also L221, there's no microphone icon next to you, so unfortunately I can't unmute you. So I'll see if that changes later on in the lesson. There's one person that signed in with just user as their screen name. If you can please put your correct ID. Everyone has their own unique ID, so please, whoever user is, please come back with your correct ID. Okay, so beginning at the start of the verse, we have got our 2-second elongation because we have mim, which is joined to the alif over here. So this is going to be, this is mad asli, this is simple elongation, ma, just 2 seconds over here. After that, we also have kaf joined with alif madda, so this is also 2-second elongation. So our timings should be equal for ma and ka. Following that, the final part is noon, which is just carrying the fatha, and we know that with basic fatha stroke, this is just 1-second elongation. So altogether, when we read this, ma kana, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. So that's straightforward enough. That's our very basic rules in terms of timing for our strokes. Following this, we have mim, and here mim has got a dhamma stroke, and then we have ha, and ha over here needs to be differentiated. So that was the final point that I brought up in the feedback, or one of the last points that I just brought up when we were listening to L240's recording. And that was to differentiate this ha, which is a lot sharper than the simple round ha. So ha and ha. So this would altogether be Muhammadun. Muhammadun. You really want to try and bring that ha from the middle of your throat. So Muhammadun. After this, we have got mim mushaddad over here. And we know with mim mushaddad, this is going to be 2-second nasal sound. So 2-second ghunna sound is going to be produced. We are going to give this letter extra stress, extra emphasis because of the shadda. So we want to try and really emphasize that Muhammadun, Muhammadun. Really stress that mim mushaddad in the middle there. And then we have dal, which is carrying the tanween of dhamma. So we call this dhammatan. And again, as I've said in previous lessons, that with our recitation, we always want to try to look ahead to anticipate which rules are going to be coming into play. So again, because we have tanween, we know that we have to be mindful of what letter follows tanween, so we know how to read it. So either we're going to read the tanween in a clear, in a short and clear way, Muhammadun, or we're going to be pausing and creating a light nasal sound, Muhammadun. So in order to know how to articulate that tanween, we are going to have to look at the next letter, and we know that this following the dal is going to be alif. And from our lesson, this is one of our 6 letters, which if they appear after the nun sakin or the tanween, they are going to be read with a prolonged nasal, without a prolonged nasal sound. So this is going to be izhar. This is going to be read in a clear manner. So this tanween is short and clear. Muhammadun aba ahadin. So this is a clear tanween. After this, alif just has our fatha stroke. This is 1 second. And then we have ba, which is going to be prolonged. So we've got the extra or the medium elongation. This can be 3 to 4 seconds long. So aba, and then following that, we've got again alif with fatha. So this is 1 second. So 3 to 4 seconds on our mad saghir, our short or our extra medium elongation. Aba ahadin. Alif, as I said, is fatha. Ha over here is also fatha. Then we have dal, which again carries the tanween. So again, we have to look ahead and see which letter it's going to be connected with. This time we have mim mushaddad, and we are going to be assimilating this into the mim mushaddad. So when we join this dal with the kasratain, with mim mushaddad, the sound is going to be a ghunna sound, which is produced a nasal sound, as you can see over here, which we're going to try to hold for at least 2 seconds. Ahadim mir rijalikum. So the emphasis needs to be on the mim mushaddad when joining these two together. So we've got a few rules which come one after the other. Attached to the mim mushaddad here, we have nun sakin, and we have a sakin letter which is basically in between two letters which are both carry shadda and both carry the stroke of kasra. So here, this nun is not going to be read. This nun is going to be merged into the next letter, which is the ra mushaddad. So again, over here, we have complete assimilation. So here we had the kasratan being merged into the mim mushaddad, so you don't hear it at all. And here you have the nun sakin being completely merged into the ra mushaddad. So you're not going to hear the nun sakin either. So this will be ahadim mir rijalikum. So ahadim mirri. So no nun sakin is going to be heard when we join these together. Ahadim mir rijalikum. So you can see over here it's written merging without a nasal sound. We have just a kasra underneath the ra. This is going to be a thin ra sound with some stress because of the ra mushaddad. Ahadim mir rijalikum. Jim over here again, we have our letter highlighted in red. This is 2-second elongation. This is our basic stroke because it's alif madda. Jalikum. Ahadim mir rijalikum. Lam is just 1 second, and then Gaf is joining to Mim Sakin, which is going to be Kum very simply. And again, just important to note at the end that we're not going to be putting any time or any stress on that final Mim Sakin. Sometimes when we're reciting in tune, we can give more time than is necessary on some letters. So just be mindful there is no prolonged Mim Sakin over here. So I'll just recite the verse, first part of the verse, and then some of you recite as well. So أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم. So I'll read it one more time. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم. So if I can request my co-host who is L232, I'm just going to unmute you. If you could select somebody to have a go at reciting the first part of this verse.
Yeah, sure. L217.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you have a go at reciting this portion of the verse?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم.
Jazakallah, thank you very much. I know it's a tough one to do all in one, but
Yeah.
you did very well. And very good articulation of the ha as well. So Jazakallah, thank you L217. Could I have another person to recite, please?
Yeah, L220.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, L220.
Walaikum assalam.
Could you please recite as well?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم.
Jazakallah, again really well recited. Thank you L220. Another one please.
L218.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, L218. L218, are you there? L218. Okay, can we try somebody else?
L219.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please recite the portion?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم.
Okay. Do you think you could do it in one breath?
ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم.
Jazakallah, thank you very much. Jazakallah L219. Jazakumullah, that was really well recited by everyone that had a go at reading the verse. So let's move on to the next part. So we have, very simply, we have our waw, which carries the fatha stroke. We have lam, which carries the vertical fatha over here. So we know this is our basic rule, 2-second elongation. And then again we have Qaf, which is joined this time to Nun Sakin, which is followed by a Ra over here. So you can see over here we have a Nun Sakin. We have to know how to recite based on what is followed by the Nun Sakin. So here we have Ra Mushaddad. Again, this is going to be assimilation without a nasal sound. This is complete assimilation. No Nun Sakin will be heard. Walakin Rasula. Walakirra. So no Nun Sakin is going to be heard over here. So let's move to the next one. Ra again is our thick letter. So we're going to be reading it. Walakirra. Kirrasulullahi. So thick letter Ra. After this, we have Sin joined to Waw Madda over here. And again, this is our basic rule. This is 2-second elongation. So this will be Rasula, Rasula. Lam over here. Again, we have to look ahead and see what it's connecting with. It's connecting with the Lam Mushaddad in Allah. So we know by now, because this has come up time and time again in our lessons, that with the word Allah, the Lam Mushaddad is going to be either thick or thin based on what comes before it. So because this is a fatha stroke, this is going to be read as mufakham, meaning thick. So this is what we call the rule of lam al-jalala. This is a thick lam that's going to be manifested in this word. So this will be rasulallahi, lallahi. So not lallahi, that would make it thin. This is a thick mufakham, thick lam, rasulallahi. So far we have walakin rasulallahi. Ha over here, just 1 second. We have waw, which is again just 1 second because it's just the stroke of fatha. Kha is joined with alif over here, alif madda, madda asli, 2-second elongation, kha. We have to remember also that kha, highlighted in green, this is our advanced rule. This is a thick letter, mufakham. So this is wa khataman nabiyyin, khatama, kha. So this is thick letter kha, 2-second elongation. Ta over here is a thin letter, and we have to differentiate it with ta. So ta is thick. Our mouth should be rounded when we're reading ta. Ta, you can have your have a smile on your face when you're reading ta, mouth open. Khataman nabiyyin. So thick kha, thin ta, and we're differentiating ta and ta. Mim over here is going to be joining with Nun Mushaddad over here. So when we join these two letters, we're going to be producing the gunna sound, gunna nasal sound for 2 seconds. Tamanna, khatamanna. So emphasis on that Nun Mushaddad. So Nun and Mim Mushaddad, always remember, we produce a nasal sound and hold that sound for at least 2 seconds. So khatamanna bijina. Over here, we've just got ba with basic kasra stroke, 1 second. And we are joining with ya, which carries the vertical kasra underneath. So that's 2 seconds, but also we're stressing the ya because it does carry the shadda. I can't quite manage to highlight it, but you can see over here, this is khataman nabiyina. So ya is stretched for 2 seconds. and over here noon, which carries a fatha. Now if we're going to pause over here, because we have our punctuation here which suggests to us that this is a meaningful pause, this is a place where, according to the meaning of this verse, it's a good place to take a short break for breath. So if you are just carrying on, this ya will be 2 seconds. If you're making a pause here, the elongation can be 4 seconds. So you can stretch this ya when pausing for up to 4 seconds over here. So وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ if you're carrying on. وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ. So stretching that a little bit longer when pausing. So again, let me have a quick read through this, and I'll also give you all the opportunity to have a go at reading. وَلَكِنْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ. So again, وَلَكِنْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ. So L232, if you could please select the next person to have a go at reading this.
L221.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please recite the verse?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
That was almost perfect. So just the lam, make it a little bit thicker. Rasulallahi.
Okay. Should I read again?
Yes, please. Yeah.
ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
Great. Jazakumullah. Thank you, L221. Another person, please.
L223.
Assalamu alaikum. L223. L223, are you there? L223? No? Okay, that's fine. We'll try again later, so you can pick someone else, please.
L225.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. L225.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please recite the portion of the verse?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
Jazakallah. I think the mic was cutting in and out, but as far as I could hear, that was fine. Jazakallah, L225. And if you can get one more person, please, L232.
L227.
Okay.
Oh, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please recite?
I've lost everything apart from the voice. Okay, it's back now. Thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Well recited, L227. Thank you. Okay, Jazakallah again for everyone that read. That was really well done. Let's move to the final part of the verse. Okay, so waw, which is carrying fatha stroke, we know, very basic, just 1 second over here. Then we have kaf joined to alif. This is again mad asli, simple elongation, 2 seconds. Kana, wa kana. Noon is fatha, so just 1 second over there. Sorry, so we are joining the noon with lam mushaddad, which follows here. Again, we have to look at what precedes the lam mushaddad. So here we've got the stroke of fatha on the noon. So because it's fatha coming before the lam mushaddad, it's going to be a thick lam. So thick lam mushaddad, this is mufakham, thick lam. So وَكَانَ اللَّهُ, so not نَاللَّهُ but نَاللَّهُ. And again, because it's got the vertical fatha, simple elongation of 2 seconds, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ. Ha over here, we can see just 1 second because it's just the dhamma stroke. If we move on, we have ba, again, just 1 second because it's just kasra. Then we are joining kaf, carrying dhamma with lam mushaddad. And this is going to be a thin lam. It's written here always thin lam mushaddad, and a thin letter we call muraqqaq. So mufakham is thick, and muraqqaq is going to be thin. So kulli, very simply, thin lam mushaddad here, bikulli. Following this, we have sheen joined to ya sakin, and in this situation, this ya is what we call a ya leen, and that basically means that this is going to be a soft elongation. So when sheen is blended with ya, it's going to be shay, shay, shay'in. The way that you recognize a lean letter is it's either going to be ya with sukoon or waw with sukoon, and it's preceded by a letter which carries the stroke of fatha. So over here, because sheen is carrying fatha joined to ya sakin, this is soft lean. We are elongating that sound for 2 seconds. Bikulli shay'in, shay'in, soft blend of the sheen over the ya. Shay'in. In, again, we have our tanween, so we know that we have to look ahead and see how we're going to be manifesting that tanween, either in a short and clear manner or in a with a soft nasal sound. So because this kasratain over here is followed by ayn, ayn is one of those 6 letters where we have to do ikhfa, we have to make we have to izhar, which is they without a prolonged nasal sound, so with a clear and short kasratain. Shay'in, shay'in alima. So in is going to be short and clear because ayn is one of those 6 letters where we clearly manifest the tanween. Izhar of tanween, clear nasal sound. Shay'in alima. Ayn, remember we have to differentiate that with the hamza written here. So this is ah. It's a difficult one to sound. Shay'in alima. So hamza over here, which precedes it, is a simple sound. In alima. Ayn. Really try to get that coming from your throat. Bikulli shay'in alima. Lam here is joined with ya, so we have here ya madda, 2 second elongation, simple elongation of 2 seconds. And we have, if we are continuing, then we have the meme with fathatain, aliman, and then you carry on with whatever follows. But because we've reached the end of the verse, it's preferable to make a pause over here. So when we pause on this meme, carrying fathatain, one of those strokes is dropped, and this is going to be read as alima, alima. So on pausing, this will also be a simple elongation of 2 seconds. Bikulli shay'in alima. So li and ma, it's important to get the timings equal. 2 seconds here because of ya madda, and 2 seconds because of alif madda, which occurs if you're stopping at this verse. And over here, the ayn which you see written on top of this verse is the sign of the end of a ruku. So again, fairly straightforward. It's just about remembering all of these things at once in recitation. So again, I'll have a go at reciting, and then LT32, if you can select a few people to recite as well. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا. The LT32, if you could please select a few people.
L224.
Sure, yep. Assalamu alaikum, LT24.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Please could you read the final part of the verse?
Yes. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا.
So just over here, we want the lam to be thicker. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ. So read one more time, please.
وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا.
You just read this part. Kana Allahu.
كان الله
Nallahu.
الله
Wa kana Allahu.
وكان الله.
Almost there. So keep practicing because we want to make this different to Nallahu, which is the
Okay.
thin now. Kana
Okay.
Allahu. Okay? Okay, Jazakumullah, L224. Can I have someone else, please?
L230.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum. Walaikum assalam. Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Wa kana Allahu bi kulli shay'in alima.
Just make this Hamza a little bit more clear. So we don't want any nasal sound coming through. Bikulli shay'in alima.
Okay. Should I?
You can start from the beginning, yeah.
Okay. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا.
That's great. Jazakillah. Thank you, L230. Can I get one more person, please?
L228.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yeah, could you please recite the final part of the verse?
Of course. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
So ayn over here needs to be shorter. So the time that you want to give is on the ya over here. So basically opposite to what you did. So alima.
Okay. Should I start from the beginning again?
Yeah, if you read from the start, yeah.
وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا.
So this time, the lam was a little bit too long. So bikulli shay'in alima. So you can read read it from here.
Okay. بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا.
Yeah, that is better. Jazakillah. Thank you, L228. Can we just get one more person to do to recite this?
L234.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, L234.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Shall I start?
Yes, please, yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Jazakillah, really well read. Thank you very much, L234. Okay, Jazakallah, everybody. We are going to have a go at reading this fully. Again, according to the meaning, you can make a pause over here after Rijalikum, stop for breath there, and then carry on from Walakin Rasulullah. So there's no need to go back. You can just continue from here onwards. Make a pause here, and then hopefully you should be able to read the final part in one breath. So I'll just read it once through, and then hopefully give an opportunity for recitation to those that haven't been picked today. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. So again, L232, if you could select the next person, please.
L229.
That's fine. Assalamu alaikum L229.
Walaikum assalam.
Would you like to have a go at reading it?
Oh, yeah, sure. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Jazakallah. Just over here, give a tiny bit more time on this ya madda. So if you just read from wakana one more time.
وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Jazakallah, that's fine. Thank you, L229. Next one, please.
L237.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وختم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Jazakallah. So over here, just the lam mushaddad here just needs to be a bit thicker. Rasulallahi. Okay.
Rasulallahi wa khataman nabiyyin.
That's perfect. Jazakallah. I think the timing, there was some issue with the length here, but you corrected it on the second time. So Jazakallah. Thank you very much. And if I can get one more person, please.
L238.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum L238.
ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Jazakallah. Just over here, the kha needs to be a little bit thicker. Wa khataman nabiyyin. So if you just read that portion there.
Wa khataman nabiyyin.
Wa khataman nabiyyin.
Wa khataman nabiyyin.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Jazakallah. Thank you. Can we have L245 is for their hand up? If we can have her, please. Assalamu alaikum. L245.
Yes, walaikum assalam.
Would you like to have a go at reciting?
Thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Okay, Jazakallah. Over here, I think I heard a slight noon sound come through. So just remember that we are not going to hear the noon sakin here. So we're joining this kaf directly with this ra mushaddad. So this will be walakin rasulallahi. So if you just read again from walakin.
ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Let's have another one, please.
L218.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum L218. L218, are you there?
No? Okay, let's try. I don't think we've had L246. Let's try her.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, L246.
Walaikum salam.
Would you like to recite?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما.
Okay, Jazakallah. So 2 points. So over here, lam we want to be thicker because this is preceded by the fatha stroke. Rasulallahi. So read, if you read again from here, just up until here.
ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين.
So read this just in isolation. Rasulallahi, lallahi.
Rasulallahi.
And over here also kha just needs to be a little bit thicker. Wa
khatamanna.
Okay, good. Jazakillah. Thank you very much. That's fine. Thank you. L2 6. Okay, Jazakallah everybody for really good standard of recitation. Let's go back to our recording. So we've got I think we have today L246 which we can listen to. So let me just L246 is recording. Okay. So again, this is from Ruku 1 of Surah Ibrahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را كتاب أنزلناه إليك لتخرج.
I'm just gonna pause it so I can pull it up a lot quicker. So the first point was obviously we've covered now in our online classes about ikhfa and izhar when we have to produce that light nasal sound on the noon over here. Because it's followed by za, it's going to be a light nasal sound. Anzalnahu. So we are going to give a little time to that noon sakin over here. Just going to rewind a little bit.
كتاب أنزلناه إليك لتخرج الناس من الظلمات إلى النور.
We just want a tiny bit more stress on those nun mushaddad. So إلى النور and لتخرج الناس. So more stress and more of a nasal sound on the nun mushaddad in both of these cases.
إذن ربهم إلى صراط العزيز الحميد.
So over here we want to remember when we have the ra with the fatha stroke in particular, they're going to be thicker. ربهم بإذن ربهم إلى صراط إلى صراط العزيز الحميد. So ra is our thick letter, and also ayn and ha we want to be a little bit more distinct. Al-Aziz al-Hamid. If we carry on. So lam over here, again, this is one of the rules we've covered. We are applying a fatha stroke when we start from this verse over here. So this lam is going to be thick, mufakham, Allahilladhi. So not Allahilladhi, Allahilladhi.
ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وويل للكافرين من عذاب شديد.
So over here we have kasratain underneath the ba over here, and we know that again we have to look ahead and see what rule is coming. We need to know how to articulate that kasratain. Is it going to be short and clear, or are we creating a light nasal sound? So because it's sheen, which follows the kasratain, we're going to have a light nasal sound. Adhabin shadid.
الذين يستحبون الحياة الدنيا على الآخرة ويصدون عن سبيل.
So again we have ha يستحبون الحياة الدنيا على الآخرة. Ra again is thick, so it's just being mindful of the articulation of those letters. They have their own distinct sound, and it's important to try and differentiate them from the simpler ha and the alif and ain. We want the sounds to be different. يستحبون الحياة الدنيا على الآخرة. Ra again is going to be thick. Over here we have the noon sakin, and because it's followed by sin, this is going to be a short nasal sound. An sabilillahi on the noon sakin there. So over here, we have jim, and when we pause, when we make a stop over here for breath, this is going to be elongated for 2 seconds. Iwaja, so not just iwaja, that would be incorrect. We are prolonging this final alif for 2 seconds. Iwaja, 2 seconds.
أولئك في ضلال بعيد وما أرسلنا من رسول إلا بلسان قومه ليبين لهم ويذل الله من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء وهو العزيز الحكيم.
So again, وهو العزيز الحكيم. Ain and ha, we want to be more prominent.
ولقد أرسلنا موسى بآياتنا أن أخرج قومك من.
Just over here we have jim, which carries sukoon, and also over here dal, which carries sukoon. So if you remember our 5 letters qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal, when they bear the sukoon, they will appear either in the middle of a word or at the end of a word. We want to slightly vibrate or slightly jerk that sound. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا. And over here, أخرج, أخرج. So slight jerk on qaf, ta, ba, jim, or dal when they carry the sukoon. I just rewind that a little bit. Again, just slightly more emphasis and more of a nasal sound. Ilan nur. More stress on the nun mushaddad there.
وذكرهم بأيام الله إن في ذلك لآيات لكل صبار شكور وإذ قال موسى لقومه اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم.
So over here, lam mushaddad in Allah is going to be thick, mufakham, because the ta marbuta beforehand has got the fatha stroke, ni'matallahi, ni'matallahi alaykum. And over here we have noon sakin followed by jim, so we want a light nasal sound. Idh anjakum, anjakum. And this meme this is going to be joining with a meme mushaddad over here. So again, light nasal sound and extra stress because of the tashdid. إِذْ أَنْجَاكُمْ مِنْ. So more stress on the meme mushaddad. Jazakumullah, that was L246. Overall, the recitation was good. The timing was fine. There was no issues at all in terms of the timings of the strokes, which is really good because those are sort of our basic errors. So really, your basic understanding of the rules of recitation is very good. So your attention just needs to be drawn to the more advanced rules, which hopefully you're grasping in these online classes. So careful attention to the way that you articulate the letters. So we want the thickness in the ra, ayn and ha, and those other letters to be a bit more prominent. We've looked at the ikhfa and izhar, so where we want to make that light nasal sound or a short and clear sound. And also the thickness of your lam. These are all things that we've been looking at in these advanced classes. So basically just applying those advanced rules in your recitation is what's going to make you even better, inshallah. So Jazakumullah L246 for your recording. Next time what we'll do is we will play a recording, and then I'll ask a few Lajna members if they would like to offer their own feedback, so that you can do some peer marking, just so you can also get some practice in marking yourselves as well. So inshallah we'll do that next week. And if I can get L232, if you could have L233 recite the final prayer before we conclude. I'm not too sure when your next Talimul class is, so the best thing would be to just ask in the group, so Hafiz Ab can let you know.
Yeah, I've unmuted L233.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you recite the final prayer, please?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة.
And the translation, please.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakumullah, thank you very much. And thank you L232 for your help with the mic control in this lesson. So Jazakumullah, and inshallah see you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.